Hello and welcome to Syntax Comment. Today in this video we'll see programming, what is programming and how it works. For you to understand in simple words, programming is the craft of writing instructions that make computers perform tasks. Now, in simple, we can simply say in start that programming is nothing, just a combination of logic plus the presentation. Okay, how you present the logic in form of writing is a programming. In this video will totally revolve around this programming thing and how it works, starting with the very common thing, that definition. So programming is the process of creating precise ordered instruction that a computer follows. For you to understand in simple terms, you use voice assistant in your mobile phones, right? This is a mobile phone and you give some commands here. These commands are nothing, just the instructions. Now these instructions work as a way to interact with your voice assistant or your phone, right? So in the same way, when you give some instructions to the machine, it goes with some types of input, and these inputs are nothing but the commands or instructions is in the form of instruction, whether it is in the written or in the voice format, right? So this is how these instructions are given. So now these instructions, how we can use these instructions and how we can communicate with the computer. So communicating with the computer needs programming languages, and these programming languages goes through three steps. First step is the written format, right? Then this written format is then coded. Second step is the coding part, and third is the output. Output will be always given by the system after processing the coded part. Now this coding thing is done with these binary digits. What are binary digits? 0 and 1. In machines, there are two options. One is on and second one is the off button. On is replicated by 1 and off is replicated by 0. These two buttons are known as the binary digits. Whenever we put a single script in a system, these scripts are changed in this 0-1 format, and this 0-1 format is understandable by the computer systems. Right. So this is how we can communicate using the programs. Developers use some human-readable languages, whether it is Python, Java, C++, C Sharp. These are understandable by the computers using the compiler and the interpretations, which changes these readable languages into the binary codes, and these binary codes are understandable by the computer systems. Now moving further, the role of programming languages is simple. These programming languages give us a chance to communicate with a form of program. This program are nothing but just the instructions. Okay, so these instructions are some written code, written lines, which are human readable. Okay, so human can read easily, but these are changed into the 0-1 format, that are the binary format, and these binary format are then changes processed and then changed to the output, which is used by the users. Okay, so this is the whole cycle goes. But here, some of the major programming languages, whether it is Python, JavaScript, and C++, works and plays a vital role. For example, Python is very versatile as it is popular in the field of AI, machine learning, data analysis, scripting, and automation. Python is very quite popular because of its very easyable and readable format. It is much friendlier with the human as in the form of English. How we talk in English, we write in English. It is very quite similar to learn Python easily if you know the English language, right? JavaScript is not like Python. It has some more complex syntax, but these syntax are also quite readable, and these readable format are used for the websites, applications, and many other things. This JavaScript is widely used by the websites and the applications to be made by the clients. Next language is the C++. C++ is widely used in the gaming and system development things. Okay, so whenever you are building some games, this C++ is widely used. So this is how the role of programming languages plays a vital role in the everyday life, whatever programs we use. So they play a vital role. Can see this diagram, this flow chart. Here, this symbol, this circle, right? This circle is nothing than more than the idea. This idea works as whatever we think, we put an logic. In simple terms, we can also write it as a logic. Whatever logic we think is replicated as an idea. Now this idea is converted into the written code, and these code are then converted into binary digits, and these binary digits are then converted by and processed first, processed and then give them output or processed task is performed, right? So this is how this visual representation of how the execution works and how the program is like communicated with the systems. So this is the whole procedure. This is the whole procedure: source code, translation, machine instructions, and execution by the hardware. Now coming to the next part, that is the 5 key steps in programming languages. First, we have to understand the problem. Why this is so important is because if we are moving to some discussions in a roundtable conference, you are sitting here, your boss is sitting here, your colleagues are sitting here, and your boss put some command like you have to perform this task. Okay, so for performing that task, you have to first understand what the task is, right? This big question mark should be solved around your colleagues. Okay, your boss has given the command, but the colleagues should understand the problem. After understanding the problems, you have to discuss, right? After discussing, you will get some plan, and these plans are like widely executed by the codes. Codes are the instructions given to the computers. Okay, so these computer codes are like the programs, whatever we call as program, is then provide some output. But for your betterment, this code should be tested as to fix bugs. Why fix bugs? Because you have to understand these bugs can give you some big errors, or maybe your solution doesn't work, right? So for working your solution to be in perfect manner and passing the all test cases, whatever is asked by the leader, you have to perform this testing part. After performing this testing part, you now have to see how we can change the solution path. For example, you are going A to B, and in between you have to counter C, D, E, right? These are three more streets to reach to B. But how you have to find a way to directly move A from A to B without going through this BCDE paths. Okay, so this is how you have to optimize the solution. By optimizing the solution, you will get some unique and performance improved performed solution, right? So these solutions are taken by the leader, and he can give you some bonus or something like that. So this is how this 5 key steps in programming helps you to build some solution. As going through this programming languages and programming terms, you will get very familiar that these programming is widely used in your day-to-day life. Whether you are ordering some food from Swiggy or Blinkit, right, or some other platforms, you widely use these applications. Because these applications are nothing more than the programs. In the same way, whatever you are browsing on web, right, these all are made with the programming, right? You have to be program something to be visually appeared on the system, whatever system you are using. To appear on that system, the program should be there. That's the only way to communicate with the system to the machines. Now the next thing is collaboration and continuous improvement. Now, after knowing what is programming and why programming is used, collaboration comes in business. Collaboration term comes in business. This collaboration is widely important because, for example, you are working on some code, working on some XY code, right? These code is needed by another mate of your team, and that mate is not in your locality, is somewhere else. So what you can do is simply put that code in WhatsApp or send it, right? It will be widely complex because maybe the file will be so much big and the platform doesn't took that files in the format you are sending, right? For solving that issue, there's a platform known as GitHub. These GitHub or GitLab, these are some platforms which are used by the developers for collaborating and continuous improvement of the developing community. They can simply collaborate with each other and solve the problems very easily by checking and finding the errors, going and tracking the history, whatever the developers are doing, whatever the friend is doing, whatever his mate or his teammate is doing. They can widely see and fetch the details in their local system by getting from their cloud storage of the GitLab or GitHub. Right. So this is the way we can simply collaborate. Now this GitHub is something called VCS. This VCS is nothing but version control system. Version control system helps you to find some errors, track uh, track the history, This history, whatever you have committed in the system, will be trackable by the users, by the clients, whoever is like want to see that files, right? You have shared something on GitHub can be seen and collaborated and get fetched by the users available in the different or working on a different system. After knowing this, we have a term called why. Why learn programming? Solving problems, first thing, for the careers, opportunities, for the accessible learning. Programming is learned to solve problems of different lives, for turning your ideas to reality, and careers are there to earn money. You learn programming. Here comes the end of this video, and I can give you a quick suggestion that ideas into reality comes by the usage of programs, and these programs should be learned by the programming languages which are widely used. So in the next video you will see how you have to choose your personal programming languages and what are the top 5 programming languages in 2026.